Hello everybody and welcome to the latest Brain or Shine webinar. So if you haven't joined us before, really simple. I'm Mark, I have a brain injury and live with it every day. And this is Jules, my lovely wife, who lives also with the brain injury every single day. And below us on the screen, we have our lovely friend, Sarah.
Really delighted to have the wonderful Sarah come and join us. We've worked together for a number of years, particularly through lockdown with another charity that I work with for people affected with breast cancer. You looked after us weekly throughout all of lockdown, and truly amazing. So looking forward to this.
Okay, everybody. Well, welcome. Thank you all so much for joining us today and logging on to this session. So this session is all about mindfulness. My name is Sarah Giordano. I'm based in the UK and I am a psychologist and I'm a wellbeing practitioner. I work in a school during the week, during the daytimes, and I'm a wellbeing practitioner there, looking after mental health in the students. And then in my spare time, I run my business Lemonkind, which is teaching mindfulness to children and adults. And that's how I have met and worked with Mark and Jules before, and they're always such a pleasure to work with. So I'm delighted to be with you all here today, supporting Brain or Shine, because it's such an amazing initiative that reaches so many of you all over the world. So to give you a little idea of what to expect, we've got about 45 minutes, and I'm going to introduce to you what mindfulness is, what it means, a little bit of the background to it. We're then going to break the session into 3 different parts. So I'm going to introduce you to some mindfulness practices where we can tune into the whispers from our body, because our body gives us so many signs and signals, and you guys might experience different pain sensations. You might experience tension within your body, and these are all signs that our body is giving us according to how we're feeling. And our body can also be linked to our emotions too, and when we work with mindfulness, we become more aware of those sensations in our body. We begin to connect to our emotions as well, and that awareness really helps us to understand how to help ourselves. We begin to listen to what we need at that moment, in order to help us to think of, okay, what do I need right now? Can we give ourselves a little bit of this self-compassion and kindness too? And it helps us to communicate to the people around us, the people that are caring for us as well. So we're going to tune in with our body to notice those signs and signals. We'll have a little go at some breathing practices, which is such a wonderful way to connect to the calm within, because there is always a place of calm inside of us. And sometimes it's just a little bit hard to navigate there, but I'm going to teach you a few different ways to try to feel that sense of peace within you. And then towards the end of the session, we're going to discover more about mindfulness and self-compassion, which I thought was really appropriate to all of you today. It's about being kind to ourselves, but also using that self-compassion to spread to those around us. So some of you may be here because your loved ones have experienced brain injury too. And this session is also for you as well. Okay, so hopefully everybody can get something from today. So mindfulness is about meeting yourself where you are today in the present moment with gentle curiosity and kindness to yourself. So this is really about becoming aware of whatever you are experiencing right here in the moment. Quite often, we are caught up in the noise around us that can be very distracting. We can be caught up in the past, reliving things that have happened. We can also spend lots of time thinking about the future, worrying about, oh, I've got all these to-dos. What if this happens in the future? And we can get really caught up in our minds here. But what mindfulness does is it brings us into the present moment now. It tries to quiet the noise of the past and the future, and it helps us arrive in today, which is our reality. That's what's real for us. Mindfulness is not about fixing things or changing things or striving to be happy all of the time. Mindfulness is about real life experiences. And when we do that and we bring this sense of gentle acceptance to wherever we are right now, it helps us to have that acceptance and also to be able to welcome those moments of peace and notice more moments of joy as well. Now, what I would like to do, and we're going to see if this works, is I have a little video by somebody called Jon Kabat-Zinn, who has written lots and lots of books on mindfulness and done lots of research studies over in America. And he, I feel, just beautifully describes what mindfulness means. So let me see if I press play, if this will work. Hopefully it will.
My working definition of mindfulness is that it's the awareness that arises through paying attention on purpose in the present moment and non-judgmentally. So it's awareness, and the awareness is cultivated by paying attention. And in a particular way, on purpose, in other words, intentionally, in the present moment, which is the only moment we ever have to be alive in. And then most challenging of all, non-judgmentally. And that means, of course, we have judgments about everything, but to not be caught in those judgments so that we color everything through our likes and dislikes. So that sounds pretty simple. Okay, paying attention, I can do that. But actually, when you start to pay attention to how much we pay attention, a lot of the time our minds are all over the place and we have a very hard time sustaining attention. And our attention is not very vivid and it's not very stable. And teachers go out of their minds screaming and yelling at their classes of students, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. But nobody learns to pay attention by being screamed at to pay attention. So, but it's something that we can teach people how to pay attention. And it's very, very powerful to learn how to sustain attention moment by moment by moment.
Okay, so Jon Kabat-Zinn describes mindfulness as paying attention to the present moment. And he often uses this phrase as if your life depends on it, because he really feels that living in the present moment is what life is all about. What I really want to emphasize, especially to you guys, I know you sometimes do experience this fatigue, which is what Mark and Jules' previous webinar was all about. But mindfulness can be really, really helpful when you do experience fatigue and overwhelm. And the practices that I'm going to share with you are short and gentle mindfulness practices, which will help you to navigate to places of peace and calm within you. And that's what I would say mindfulness for you could be all about. It's about just taking those moments to pause when you are feeling overwhelmed with lots and lots of thoughts or pressure in your mind. Just taking those moments to pause to bring yourself into the present moment. So I'm going to begin with an exercise now, which is a grounding exercise. So this is where we're going to connect to our bodies. And I'm going to invite you, wherever you are sitting or lying, to see if you can drop your awareness into your body. So I'm going to invite you to, first of all, just see if you can drop your awareness down to your feet, okay? Wherever your feet are. And just notice the surface that your feet are connected to. If your feet are not quite connected to the ground or a chair or a bed, then just see if you can notice any sensations in your feet. So perhaps the connection of your skin to your socks or your slippers maybe, but just becoming aware of any sensations that you feel in your feet right now. Placing no judgment. There's no right or wrong thing that you should feel, but just noticing your feet. And if you notice that your mind is wandering away, which it will do at some point, please don't try to stop it or get frustrated that your mind is wandering away, because that's what our brain does. Our brain does like to think and explore, okay? And that's one of the wonderful things about our brains. But as soon as you notice that your attention has wandered, just see if you can bring yourself back to your body, okay? And what I'm going to invite you to do now is just tune into your posture. So notice your shoulders. Could you perhaps relax your shoulders down away from your ears? And turning towards your jaw, could you soften your jaw a little bit? And to do this, you could leave a small gap between your teeth, even with your mouth closed. Just see if you can leave a small gap between your teeth and soften the muscles around your jaw. Because what that does is it seems to soften and send calming feelings through our body. Quite often when we're feeling tense, we might grind our teeth and feel a lot of tension around here. So if you can consciously just try to soften your jaw, you may feel the ripple effects in the rest of your body. And you can keep your eyes open for this or closed, whatever you feel most comfortable with. Okay. And now what I'm going to invite you to do is just do a little scan of your body with your awareness. And I'm going to invite you to notice where in your body feels comfortable. Where in your body feels neutral. It just feels okay. Now, you may have other parts which are calling to you where you feel more tension and tightness, but just see if you can navigate with your awareness to the feelings in your body that feel neutral, that just feel okay today. And see if you can rest your attention there just for a few moments. Again, with no judgment, not striving for anything. We're just being curious with our bodies today. Okay. So that is a little exercise there. I'm going to invite you to just to expand your awareness again and let your awareness flow to wherever it wishes to flow. But that was a little practice of connecting to our body and noticing the signals that our body is giving us. And what I invited you to do is to do this scan of your body to see where in your body felt quite neutral and it felt okay. And that's about trying to find these little moments of comfort for us. Now, if that was difficult, if right now you're feeling a lot of pain, for example, or a lot of distractions, then that's okay. This is just about trying different practices to see what you feel able to connect to in the moment. And this is one of them, by connecting to your body, which automatically brings you into the present moment. And also sometimes when we connect our awareness to our body, what it does is it gives us a little bit of space from the busyness that might be occurring in your mind. So it just gives you that little bit of space to connect to your body and ground yourself. It's particularly useful as well if you are becoming overwhelmed and there's lots of distractions around you. Just tuning into your body just can help to give you that sense of balance. It's almost like you're connecting to the earth beneath you, like you have roots from your feet going down into the earth, like a tree standing strong. It can just help you feel that sense of stability and balance within you for a few moments. Okay. So if you feel like you want to have a stretch now. Listen to your body. Do you feel like you want to move your body? Do you feel like you want to lie down? Just take a moment to listen. What does your body feel like doing right now in this moment? So I can see Jules. Actually, you can all see Mark and Jules. So Jules is resting back on the sofa and Mark's awake and with his eyes open, having a little bit of a stretch. Okay. Thank you guys for having a little go at that one. John Kabat-Zinn, who you saw in that video, he says this wonderful quote of, "You cannot stop the waves, but you can learn how to surf." So this is about meeting ourselves mindfully. This is about being human. We do experience ups and downs, and we experience challenges in our lives. This is part of being human. So we can't stop those waves. However, what we can do is learn to ride them, and we can learn different strategies to help us to navigate through those peaks and the troughs of those waves. And I'm sure many of you have felt those waves due to your experiences, and there will have been things that have helped you through that. And mindfulness can be something, it's a practice, but mindfulness is something that can really almost hold our hands throughout those waves that we go through. This is about connecting to those emotions that come up when we face those waves in our lives. And even during each day, we can all experience a range of emotions. Okay, we might feel great happiness and joy and excitement, but we can also experience frustration and tiredness and exhaustion. And maybe we have feelings of feeling depleted with our energy levels, and that can be quite disheartening. So in every day, we can experience a range of emotions. And this is what brings me to my next video. So I'll have a go and see if this works. This is a poem by Rumi, which you may well have heard of before. It's quite a famous poem, and it's called The Guest House. And in this particular reading of the poem, rather than me doing it, I have the lovely Helena Bonham Carter reading it with her beautiful skills. But as we play this poem, I'm just going to invite you all to sit back, relax, listen to these words, and notice as they float around you if any of these words, these lines, strike a chord with you. And we will explore after Helena Bonham Carter has finished reading.
This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house, empty of its furniture, still treat each guest honourably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the door, laughing, and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond.
This poem is all about, in my opinion, welcoming all of our emotions, opening the door to them and greeting them, welcoming them in. And sometimes we don't want to. Sometimes we don't want to welcome in those emotions that don't feel good. But the thing is, if we keep pushing those emotions away, what we find is they come back knocking louder and louder. And what mindfulness teaches us to do is to bring this sense of gentle acceptance to whatever we're feeling in that moment. If we're feeling discomfort, even if it's pain that we're feeling, mindfulness teaches us not to turn away from it, but to accept that this is our reality right now, and to almost welcome it in and to sit with it for a while. Welcome the emotion, the feeling in, accept that it's there, sit with it for a little while, until then perhaps it becomes more gentle and it's ready to pass, because all of our emotions do pass. They move and they change. Even throughout the day, we will find that. And if we can bring this sense of peace to having this gentle acceptance to how we're feeling in that moment, it really can help us to let go when we're ready. So that perhaps is just something to reflect upon, what your natural reaction is at the moment to those difficult, more challenging emotions or feelings, and whether you could open the door a little, just gently, to create this kind of sense of comfort. Okay, all right. So this is another wonderful scholar who it was called Thich Nhat Hanh. He was a Vietnamese Buddhist monk, and he has also written lots and lots of books around mindfulness. And he was such a gentle soul. So if you're interested in this area, I would really recommend reading some of his work. And he said, "Feelings come and go like clouds in a windy sky. Conscious breathing is my anchor." So further to Rumi's poem, The Guest House, and Donna Ashworth as well, Thich Nhat Hanh is saying that our feelings do move and change. Our emotions do pass. And one way to help us to navigate this is to use our breath as an anchor. Now, in mindfulness, we do often refer to connecting to our breath as an anchor, because whenever we place our awareness on our breath, and I keep putting my hand on my lungs here because that's what I do to connect to my breath, and I'll introduce you guys to it in a moment. But when we connect to our breath, we can only focus on our breath in the present moment. We can't focus on our breath 1 minute in the past because it's already gone. We can't focus on our breath in the future because it is not yet here. When we draw our awareness to our breath, it always brings us to the present moment. So our breath is so powerful. It's also so powerful because by slightly changing the rhythm of our breath, we can reduce the stress levels in our body by changing the cortisol levels, the stress hormone that might be pumping through our body. And by slowing down our breath intentionally, we can send calming, soothing hormones through our body, helping us to find our place of peace. So that brings me to my next slide, yes, which is our second practice of the evening, which is to have a little go at breathing. Now, when I'm going to invite you all to have a go, it is an invitation, okay? This is not compulsory. If you don't fancy trying it, you can just sit back and listen and observe. If you do feel like having a go, then you are very welcome to. Again, like I said with the body grounding, you don't have to close your eyes if that doesn't feel safe for you. You can keep your eyes open if that helps you to feel secure. And also, as I'm going through this, if at any point it feels uncomfortable for you, then please feel free to stop. Okay. So what I'm going to invite you all to do for a moment is just place your hands on your lungs, as I kept doing as I was talking. And just see if you can notice your body breathing naturally. So you don't need to change the rhythm of your breath at all at the moment. Just breathe in and out freely, naturally, but just see if you can feel the movement of your body as you breathe in and breathe out. So just seeing if you can feel that movement of your body in and out, and just resting your awareness upon this. Now, if you wish to take this a little bit further, what you can do is we can count our breathing. And this is one of my favorite breathing practices that I do if I'm beginning to get overwhelmed or I'm worried about doing something. I will count my breathing. So what I do is I breathe in for the count of 4, and then I'm going to breathe out for the count of 6. So I'm going to count out loud so you can follow me if you wish to. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. But if you wish to follow along, we're going to get ready to take our first inhale now. So breathing in 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhaling 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathing in 2, 3, 4, and out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And breathing in 2, 3, 4, and out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And one more time, breathing in 2, 3, 4, and out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now just letting your breath return to its natural flow. And another way that you can adapt your breathing is to imagine breathing in, and you acknowledge any discomfort or tension that you're feeling. And as you exhale, you really focus on the release, the letting go. Okay, so if you didn't want to count, that's something slightly different that you could do. So you could say, right, breathing in, I'm acknowledging this discomfort, but breathing out, I'm letting go. I'm releasing, letting go. And sometimes that little repetition, that conscious breathing exercise can really, really help us to release, to soften, and to connect to that place of peace within us. Okay. So just taking a moment to let your breathing return to its natural flow. I'll explain to everybody what box breathing is too. So this is another fantastic tool, particularly useful if you're feeling overwhelmed. It's another way of slowing down your breathing. So box breathing, I'm drawing a box with my finger here, but you imagine or you see a square. So maybe look around the room where you are, guys. See if you can see a square or a rectangle somewhere, or even looking at the screen. I can see squares on the screen. What we do is we start in the bottom left-hand corner, okay? And what you do is you breathe in for 4 as you trace up to the top left corner. And then you hold your breath for the count of 4 as you go across to the top right. And then you exhale for 4 as you go down to the bottom right, and then you hold on empty for 4. So you're basically breathing in for 4, holding for 4, exhaling for 4, and hold on empty for 4. And it's just a really, really nice visual that you can follow, which helps you to focus on something, and it helps you to calm your breathing. So now I'm going to just gently move on to this concept of mindfulness and self-compassion. And this has really been developed by Dr. Kristin Neff, who is in America as well, at one of the universities over there. And she's done so much research to show that if we have self-compassion and we develop and practice this skill, we are more able to cope with challenging situations in our lives. It builds our resilience and it builds our inner strength. And she actually found that veterans, American veterans who had been in the Iraq War, they looked at the levels of self-compassion that they had within them. And actually, self-compassion was a better predictor of whether they were going to suffer from PTSD compared to the amount of combat that they were involved in. So self-compassion was really, really powerful at helping them to mitigate the risk factors of developing PTSD. And it's something that we can all continue to develop. So I do have another little video to show you, which is Kristin Neff explaining self-compassion for you in her words.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristin Neff. For the past 2 decades, I've been researching and teaching others about the importance of self-compassion. So what is self-compassion? Well, it's simply compassion turned inward. In the Latin, passion means to suffer, com is with. So how are we with our own suffering? Whether it comes from making a mistake or feeling badly about ourselves, or when life is just really hard. Are we with ourselves with kindness, care, warmth, and support like we would be for a friend? Well, actually, most of us aren't. Most of us are much harsher, crueler, cold, judgmental to ourselves, certainly than to those we care about. We think somehow it's going to be good for us, but harsh self-criticism, shame, actually just makes us stressed, anxious, and depressed. It makes things harder than they need to be. So when we learn to do a U-turn, to start to give ourselves the same kindness and compassion we naturally give to a friend, it makes things a lot easier in life. We've got better mental health, we're more motivated, we're more focused on learning and growing, our physical health improves, and it just makes it a lot easier to cope with the tough stuff. Luckily, self-compassion is a learnable skill. We can do certain practices to build the muscle of self-compassion. So I hope you explore self-compassion more, because my research and that of hundreds of other researchers show that self-compassion can really change your life.
Okay, so I wanted to share with you some examples of what compassionate self-talk could look like for you guys. So here are a few examples. I'm just going to read them out loud in case some of you are lying back just listening. But these are some phrases that maybe we could say to ourselves. It's okay to feel this. I give myself permission to rest. It's okay to go slowly. Today I will be kind to myself. What would help me right now? And also, in times when we perhaps are feeling frustrated with other people, we could say to ourselves, just like me, this person wants to be happy. And this is where compassionate self-talk flows to the relationships around us as well. Okay. I have a little practice of compassion to share with you, which is something that Kristin Neff developed. And It's a beautiful little technique. It's got four steps where we take a moment with ourselves. It's like a really short meditation. So again, if you would like to have a little try at this, you are very welcome to, or you are welcome to just sit back and listen as I explain this compassionate meditation. So if you are going to have a go, just sit back, make yourself comfortable seated position. Again, you don't have to close your eyes, but you can do if you wish. Okay. Perhaps take a grounding breath as well. A nice big inhale, a slow exhale. And what I invite you to do is to bring to mind something that has felt challenging for you, whether that's in the present or in the past. And we're just going to hold space for that feeling, something that's been challenging for you. And as you bring to mind this experience, this challenge, I wonder, can you feel this in your body anywhere? Is your body having a physical reaction to this memory, this thought? And just notice with curiosity. I wonder if we can bring a little sense of gentle acceptance to this is what we're feeling right now, not trying to change it, but acknowledging. And what I invite you to do in this first step is to say to yourself or quietly in your mind, this is a moment of suffering. This is a moment of suffering. And just hold yourself in this space. The next part is where we realize that we're not alone, that suffering is part of life. We tune into this common humanity. And I wonder if you could say to yourself here, I'm not alone. Suffering is part of life. I am not alone. Suffering is part of life. And then as we flow to the next step, if you wish, you are welcome to place your hands on your heart. And this is where we invite a little kindness to ourselves, holding ourselves with a little bit of love. And we say, may I be kind to myself. May I be kind to myself. And just notice what that may feel like to you. And then the final part, and this is an optional part of the model, is to ask ourselves, what do I feel I need right now? That would bring a sense of comfort and peace to me. What do I need right now? And just notice anything that arises here. And then perhaps taking another beautiful breath in and a slow exhale, releasing, letting go, letting yourself have a little space now, perhaps just grounding yourself back into this moment, back with us on this webinar. And just noticing how that practice felt for you of self-compassion. And it is a practice, and it can take time, but in time it can make a really big difference to how we feel and our relationships around us too. Okay. So to kind of bring this webinar together, I have a beautiful final video from Maya Angelou, and she talks about how we all go through different clouds in our lives, but what we can do is be a rainbow in other people's clouds, but we can also bring with us rainbows of other people around us, the support that we have from our loved ones. Okay, guys, I'll just play this. So sit back, relax, and just listen to this short video from Maya Angelou.
There's an African-American song, 19th century, which is so great. It says, when it looked like the sun wasn't gonna shine anymore, God put a rainbow in the clouds. Imagine. And I've had so many rainbows in my clouds. I had a lot of clouds, but I have had so many rainbows. And one of the things I do when I step up on a stage, when I stand up to translate, when I go to teach my classes, when I go to direct a movie, I bring everyone who has ever been kind to me with me. Black, white, Asian, Spanish-speaking, Native American, gay, straight, everybody. I say, come with me. I'm going on the stage. Come with me, I need you now. Long dead, you see? So I don't ever feel I have no help. I've had rainbows in my clouds. And the thing to do, it seems to me, is to prepare yourself so that you can be a rainbow in somebody else's cloud. Somebody who may not look like you, may not call God the same name you call God, if they call God at all. You see? And may not eat the same dishes prepared the way you do, may not dance your dances or speak your language, but be a blessing to somebody. That's what I think.
So I just really, really love that. I just find that so beautiful that even if she is on her own, still remembers the people that have been kind to her, and she almost brings them with her whenever she's feeling nervous or scared or overwhelmed. She brings all of those people that have touched her life with her, and she feels stronger, and she feels that she can do anything because she has all. And that's what I really wanted to convey to you guys as well. Even through Brain or Shine, you have a community around you of people that are there to support you as well, along with obviously your family and friends around you. But it really is something so special that we can tune into and remember, and it can help us on those days where we feel like we have a few more clouds. They can be the rainbows that we remember. Okay. All right. So my final little quote here is about you guys bringing mindfulness into your daily life. And this is by Lao Tzu, who said, "The greatest treasures are simplicity, patience, and compassion." So mindfulness really can be brought into our everyday life with very simple, gentle strategies and techniques that only need to take a few moments to pause, to be present, to listen to yourself, to ask yourself, what may I need right now? Or to take a little grounding breath that might just help to give you a little bit of space, to quiet your mind a little, to help you feel a little bit stronger and a little bit brighter. So I thank you all so much for joining us today. Thank you, Mark and Jules, for welcoming me and letting me be part of this community today. And I hope that was a little snippet of mindfulness. But here are my details as well. So you're always welcome to get in touch if you do have any questions. Thank you so much for all the comments. So thank you all. It's been beautiful. Over to you, Mark and Jules.
Oh, thank you so much. That was really, really lovely. And it seems like it's been too long since we've done one of your mindfulness sessions. So we need to do more, definitely.
We do. Thank you so much. That's very, very insightful and calming, and just giving us some great ideas to help ourselves when things are being a bit tough and a bit difficult in the brain injury world, how to ground ourselves. So thank you so much. There's some lovely feedback coming in. I hope you can see it, Sarah. Oh, Linda says she's happy. That's lovely.
Yeah, that's really lovely to hear. But yeah, just some interesting observations as well. When you were saying about feeling your feet on the floor, I put this really fluffy cushion on the floor, and I do that when we're watching TV sometimes, and just feel that on the bottom of my feet. I love not having shoes on and feeling my feet on the floor and on the ground. And on our balcony, we have some of that fake grass.
Yeah.
And Sue Brown says she had a headache at the start, but it's gone now.
Oh, fantastic.
That's lovely. So now you know what to do if you have another headache.
A bit of mindfulness.
Do you have recordings on your website?
So I do have, there's a free, on this screen here, there is a free app that you can download called Insight Timer. And that is a collection of meditation teachers who upload recordings of meditations. So I've included my link there, but it is completely free app, and you can access so many different meditations to listen to if you would like to do that. And my website's there as well, so you can find out a lot more information. Yeah, there's loads. If you Google mindfulness practices, there'll be lots and lots of videos and recordings that come up for you.
I'm just mindful of time. See what I did there? So we appreciate that you guys have been online for quite some time as well. So we are going to wish you all a lovely evening, if it is evening where you are, if it's not morning, or whatever time you're dialing in for. And just a reminder for all the things we have with Brain or Shine. So we have another fatigue webinar coming up next month.
Yes.
We also have our wonderful friends at Slater and Gordon who are going to be joining us on another webinar to talk a little bit about where you can seek out legal support if you need it. There's our usual podcast episodes available, and one went live last week. So have a listen to those. They come out every month. The latest blog has gone live this month as well, and your newsletter will drop into your inbox in the next couple of days as well. And that sounds a lot of stuff. Try not to do it all. I try not to do it all because it's too much. And pick whichever works for you. If you can find any of those bits of information to hand, then just go to brainwillshine.com. And also keep the chats going in our Facebook community peer-to-peer support group as well, because that is so useful for us and for everybody else that's joining it as well. So thank you, everybody. And thanks for the lovely comments. It makes our heart sing every time we do one of those. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Take care, everyone. Have a great rest of the day.
See you all soon.